set to go here. Game number 2 of this 3-game series. The Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox. Don't let that temperature fool you. 55 degrees. It is clear and cold here at the ballpark. Look at those winds out of the west, 20 to 28 miles per hour. It'll be a cool one here at Fenway tonight. The Oakland A's in town. Tony La Russa's lineup goes like this tonight. Ricky Henderson will lead things off. He is in left field. Stan Javier will bat number 2. He'll play center. Ruben Sierra will hit out of a number 3 slot. He'll be in right field. Troy Neal will be the designated hitter. Mike Aldretti will bat number 5 and play first base. Harry Steinbach will bat number 6. He'll do the catching. Mike Brumley, the former Red Sox, who started at second base yesterday, gets the call at third tonight. Mike Bordick back at shortstop hitting 8th, and Scott Heeman will bat number 9, and he will play second. As far as our friends in blue go, Mr. Durwood Merrill out of Texas behind the plate. He'll call the balls and strikes. Mike Riley at first base. Tim Welke at second, and Joe Brinkman is our umpire at third.
The Red Sox are 11th in the league in defense. They've made 12 errors in 13 games. Tonight they'll have Scott Cooper at third base, John Valentin the shortstop, Tim Naring at second, and Mo Vaughn at first. Left to right will be Lee Tinsley, Otis Nixon, and Billy Hatcher. Dave Valley be doing the catching, and on the mound, right-hander Roger Clemens. Clemens making his 4th start of the season, a record of 1-0. Of course, that win coming last time out against Chicago here at Fenway Park, in probably his strongest performance in a long time. 8 innings in that game, 3 hits, only 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and made 115 pitches in that game. And tonight he's working against the only team that has a winning record against him. Clemens against Oakland in his career, 5 wins and 10 losses.
So Clemens goes to work against the A's, making his 3rd start, as Jerry mentioned, in 1994. Worked opening day for the 7th time. Starting against the Tigers, was KO'd in the 5th inning of that game. Came out strong in that ball game against the Tigers, retiring the first 6 in order. Ran into problems in the 3rd, again in the 4th, and was finally knocked out of the ball game in the 5th. And then against the White Sox on April the 9th, pitched into the 7th inning, leaving that ball game with the lead. But the Sox went on to lose that ball game. Clemens was not involved with the decision. Look around Fenway Park. Blue sky is overhead. It'll be clear and cold here at the ballpark this evening. Players downstairs saying there won't be as many home runs hit here tonight as there was yesterday afternoon, when 8 were rocked out of the ballpark, 6 by the Red Sox. A's have not had good success against Boston. They have in years past, but not in the last 7 meetings. Those have all belonged to the Red Sox. They have not beaten Boston since Ron Darling defeated Paul Quantrill out at Oakland last July the 9th. Since then, 7 straight wins for Boston, including 13-5 in the series opener this year yesterday. Ricky Henderson to lead it off, followed by Stan Javier and Ruben Sierra, as the A's come to bat here against Roger Clemens in the 1st inning. Henderson with an on-base percentage of .518 this year, but was 0 for 3 in the ball game against the Sox yesterday. First pitch by Roger Clemens is down low. 1 ball and no strikes, the count on Henderson. Henderson, as we mentioned yesterday, in his 3rd tour of duty with the Oakland A's. Leaving, as you know, last July 31st in exchange for the A's pitcher tonight, Steve Carsey, and then returned during the offseason. There was talk about Henderson perhaps signing with the New York Yankees, but it was the Oakland A's that secured his services. So he's back in Oakland for the 3rd time around.
I think Ricky most comfortable with the Oakland A's over the years. He's had some fine years for the A's. I think more relaxed playing out in the Bay Area than maybe anywhere else that he has played his major league games.
Clemens dealing 3-0. There's his strike, according to Durwood Merrill.
Well, Ricky about 2 or 3 steps down that first base line, thinking that he had ball 4. Clemens just happy to get the first one under his belt.
Henderson fouls it back, and the count will go full. So a full count on Henderson to start the ball game. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
We mentioned in our open last time out for Clemens, probably the best performance he's had in a long time. Everything was on for Roger. Had the velocity, had the good breaking ball, the good split-fingered pitch, and certainly had the location. Made comments after the game how well he felt Larry Barnett umpired that ball game behind home plate.
See if he has similar comments tomorrow morning about Derwin Merrill. 3-2 pitch fouled off again by Henderson. A lot of the Clemens starts will feature a long first inning. Roger gets settled on the mound. Clemens, of course, coming off his first sub-500 season, 11 wins, 14 losses last year. His ERA ballooning up to 4.46. Up high to Henderson. And so baseball's premier base thief is on to start the ball game.
That is already the 20th walk of the season for Ricky Henderson. Bob, you mentioned his on-base percentage, and certainly doing the job there, making Clemens throw a lot of pitches to him and eventually ending up with the walk. A couple of stolen bases so far for Henderson, but he's been thrown out 4 times, as you see.
Tail into last year, he was going like a house of fire. He stole 22 of his final 24 after switching over to a Blue Jays uniform. So he's aboard to start the ball game. Stan Javier with a .411 average. Has hit safely in all 13 games for the A's this year. And the battle gets underway between Clemens and Henderson. Abe McKay there, the first base coach of the A's. This is the start of a 3-city 8-game road trip for Oakland. They'll play in New York and Baltimore after leaving Fenway as Javier looks at the called strike. Javier, through most of his career, has been a utility player, but given a chance to play here every day in Oakland and has responded here through the first 13 games of the year. Among the leaders in the American League as far as average go. He came into the series leading the American League in hitting. Dropped to 4th yesterday after a 1-for-4 performance. So Neal of the Yankees is now on top at 433. And McGuire of the A's, who was not in the lineup tonight, at 425. Troy Neal at 421 and Javier at 411. Both stolen bases since 1988, right at the head of the list. Ricky Henderson just 4 short of 400. Then Vince Coleman, now with Kansas City, and of course Otis Nixon with the Red Sox. Javier will foul it back, and Clemens quickly ahead 0-2.
What's interesting about that graphic is the fact that all 3 of those guys now are in the American League. Coleman, of course, with Kansas City, and of course Otis Nixon now with Boston. So some of that speed finally getting over to the American League.
Henderson last year was 38 for 45 in his steals of second and 15 of 16 as far as stealing third. Adds up to a 53 stolen base season.
Ricky likes to start out with a very short lead, then try to expand that lead as the pitcher goes into his to get ready to go into the set position. He likes to have momentum going towards second base. You see him take little jab steps with his feet.
Javier got a piece of it and fouled it back. So still 2 strikes to count on Javier.
One of the strong suits for Ricky throughout the years is the explosion he gets on the first couple of steps, almost like a sprinter coming out of those blocks. He's just about at full speed after a couple of steps.
Clemens missing, and it goes 1-2. Five wins, 10 losses for Roger Clemens against the Oakland A's. His last win against the A's, a 3-hit shutout. Beat him out in Oakland 3-0 on August 26, 1991. Roger was 0-1 against the A's last year. Did not pitch against the Oakland Ball Club in 1992. Oakland, as Jerry mentioned, the only club that Clemens has a sub .500 record against. Gets him swinging. Clemens picking up his first strikeout of the night.
Clemens had 6 strikeouts in the last game that he pitched against Chicago. Chicago, a very difficult team to strike out. Picks up his first one tonight on the fastball. Mostly fastballs in this inning by Roger, except the very first pitch of the game, which was a slider to Henderson.
So Javier has been disposed of. Batter Ruben Sierra, who checks in at .246, including 6 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Home run number 6 coming for Sierra out here yesterday. Sierra among the leaders in home runs. Delgado of Toronto on top with 8. Then Frank Thomas has 7, and Sierra follows with 6. Looks at a called strike.
We're talking about location, able to spot his fastball both on the outside and inside corner in that last game. Nobody really has outstanding numbers against Clemens in the Oakland lineup, because he's had some great battles with the A's throughout the years, and especially with Dave Stewart.
One hitter that Clemens ate up in the Oakland lineup was Mark McGwire. McGwire is something like 2 for 30 against Clemens' lifetime, and McGwire is not in the Oakland lineup tonight. Mike Aldretti getting the call at first base.
He makes it tough to get in the flow of the game for his starting pitcher if he gets on first base to start the game off. A lot of throws to first base by Clemens, stepping off, holding the ball a long time.
But he was 0-2 ahead of Javier and now has 2 strikes on Ruben Sierra. Sierra has an 11-game hitting streak. A's come to town with a .312 average. That is number 1 in the American League. They've scored 98 runs so far in this young season. That's second to Toronto's 107. A's have clubbed 23 home runs. They've homered in each of their last 4 games. With Neal and Sierra doing honors against the Sox yesterday. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the count on Sierra. Lots of home runs around Major League Baseball continuing this afternoon at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Kansas City beat Detroit today 11-6 in the Motor City. Gaetti had 2 home runs. Dave Henderson had 1. So did Lou Whitaker, as did Tony Phillips. So 5 home runs in Detroit this afternoon. 11-6 Royals. Count is even now on Ruben Sierra. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Missing just slightly on the outside part of the play. Not missing by much, but not getting the close call from Merrill here in the first inning.
And it gets Sierra on a pop-up in foul territory. Backing up is Mo Vaughn. Behind him, second baseman Tim Naring with the play, and there's 2 going.
Just that pop-up there will give you an idea how strong that wind's blowing out toward the bullpen area tonight. Vaughn was camped under that. Looked like he was going to make the play, and then finally Naring had to call him off. Once again, anything pulled tonight by left-handed hitters, and if you can get it up in the air, you got a pretty good chance.
2 gone in the Oakland first inning. Here's the designated hitter Troy Neal, carrying that .421 average. His 3rd home run came here against the Red Sox yesterday. Neal going 2 for 4, had a homer and knocked in a couple of runs. Ricky Henderson led with the walk. He is there with 2 outs as it gets a little closer over there at first base.
Well, he mentioned Henderson likes to try to get that walking lead. That time Clemens almost got him between steps. Ricky not that far off the bag yet, though was able to dive back.
starts Neal off with the strike. So Javier, Sierra, and Neal. Clemens has led each of them in the count. Well, that was close. A ball and a strike.
Yeah, there's been 3 pitches, I think, that Clemens felt that he could have had for strikes. 2 of them inside like that one there, and then there's been another one to the outside part of the plate. That's the pitch he was getting in his last outing against Chicago.
And not getting here in the first inning from Durwood Merrill. Now Clemens falls behind. 2-1 the count on Neal. Neal has 11 hits in his last 20 at bats, including a homer, which came yesterday, and 5 RBIs. Skipped up. Bally will keep it out in front of the plate, but the count will go to 3-1.
Looked like the split-fingered fastball from Clemens, bouncing out in front of the plate. Valley doing a good job blocking that ball and keeping it in front of him. Keep Henderson at first base. Tough spot now, though, falling behind 3-1.
Neal drives it towards left center. Scooting over is Tinsley. Tinsley will make a fine running catch on the warning track, and that will retire the side. For the Oakland A's, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Oakland fails to score at the top of the first. The Sox are coming up. Come up empty against the Rocket. Roger Clemens in their half the first. Red Sox now batting for the first time in the ball game. Butch Hobson's lineup card looks like this. As usual, Otis Nixon leading things off, playing center field. Billy Hatcher bats number 2. He plays in right. Mike Greenwell will be the designated hitter tonight. He'll hit third. Mo Vaughn clean up at first base. Tim Naring 4 for 4 yesterday. Bats number 5 and plays second. Scott Cooper will hit 6th to play third base. John Valentin once again at shortstop, batting 7th. As you saw, Lee Tinsley getting the start out in left field. He'll bat 8th, and then Dave Valley is the number 9 hitter.
Defense tonight for the Oakland A's. They're 8th in the league, 11 errors in 13 games. Mike Brumley will be at third base. Mike Bordick, the shortstop. Scott Heeman at second, and Mike Aldretti at first. Left to right will be Ricky Henderson, Stan Javier, and Ruben Sierra. Harry Steinbach will be the catcher, and on the mound, rookie right-hander Steve Carsey. Both of his starts, this will be his third. His 2 starts have been against the Minnesota Twins, and he has been very, very impressive. Last time out, 8 innings, 5 hits, and 1 run. A couple of walks and 3 strikeouts. Everybody you talk to about this kid said he's going to be a big-time winner in the major leagues. Fastball, 90+, a curveball, and also a changeup.
Well, Ricky Henderson traded to Toronto last July 31st. In return, a fine young prospect. As the rookie goes at work against the veteran leadoff man here of the Red Sox, Otis Nixon, will be followed by Billy Hatcher and then Mike Greenwell. 1 strike the count on Nixon, who broke an 0 for 15 slump with a 5th inning double here yesterday. Nixon coming in, hitting .220 on the year. Carsey throwing strikes, and it's quickly 0-2.
They say that his composure, a lot like Aaron Seeley, not much bothers him. He's not afraid to work inside the hitters. Comes right after him.
Big strikeout numbers in the minors. This is inside on Nixon, a ball and 2 strikes. Carsey left his last start up 4-1 against the Minnesota Twins after 8 innings. Twins picked up 4 off Dennis Eckersley in the top of the 9th and beat the A's. So no decision for Carsey. He beat the Twins his first time out, the 9th of April at the Metrodome, hurled 7 innings and left with a 14-0 lead. So he is 1-0 on the year. 1-2 delivery now to Nixon. A breaking ball down and in, and things even on Otis at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Only Red Sox player that has faced Carsey was Dave Valley. Faced him last year as a member of the Seattle Mariners right at the end of the season.
Foul back, which brings up an interesting question. How do you go about facing a guy that none of you have seen before?
Well,
live?
Certainly you have the scouting reports that you get from the advanced scout that has watched Oakland play over the last couple of series. They get a pretty good idea on how hard the guy throws, moving on a fastball. But until you get in there yourself against a guy, that's when you find out.
Nixon finds out as he strikes Nixon out to start the ball game.
Yeah, what he finds out, too, is Carsey is going to be around the plate. He's got very good control and also some pop on the fastball. Throws his fastball right by Nixon. First out of the ball game for him.
Well, Nixon asked a lot of questions by the other players when he goes back in. What's he have? What's he throwing?
They better not ask him right now. He just struck out.
Gas.
You better wait a couple of hitters before you go ask him.
Billy Hatcher, the batter, goes after the first pitch. That's a fair ball. Winds up in shallow left field, and Nixon, or Hatcher rather, has a base hit. Hatcher didn't waste any time. Jumped on the first offering, got it inside the third base bag.
Any of the ballpark in the American League, probably going to be a two-base hit for Billy Hatcher. Fastball tailing back into Hatcher, right down that third base line, and by Brumley. It's going to bounce off the wall, though, and Henderson will be able to pick it up in time to keep Hatcher at a single. Now, here's a guy you want to ask. He just got the hit. Nixon's response would be, how do I know what he's throwing? He just struck me out.
Hatcher aboard with one out here in the first. Mike Greenwell, who will fill the designated hitter slot for the Red Sox. Greenwell pumped his fourth home run into the center field bleachers here yesterday. Foul back.
Kind of interesting, isn't it, Bob? We mentioned Red Sox hitters have not seen him, but now 2 out of the 3 have swung at the first pitch against him. Billy Hatcher, first pitch for the base hit, and Greenwell going after the first pitch.
Hatcher last year, as you saw, with 14 steals, gunned down 7 times. Ball and a strike on Greenwell. As mentioned, 4 home runs for Greenwell this year. All of them have come here at Fenway Park. Wells, Belcher, Sanderson, and Dave Righetti. Time called by Durwood Merrill. Merrill's quite a character behind the plate. Hails from Hooks, Texas. Has his own sports talk show down there. Sports Talk by Durwood Merrill on the radio. Foul by Greenwell down the left field line. A ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that's certainly one thing Durwood can do. He can talk. He's very active throughout the course of a game, especially when he's working home plate. Came up with Durwood in the Texas League, AA. He was an umpire in that league when I was a member of the California Angel organization.
Ever bounce you?
No, I don't believe he did. I was a nice, polite young man in AA.
One-two from Carsey, down low. And that evens things on the Gator with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hatcher back to first. Carsey started last year with Knoxville. That's the Blue Jays AA farm club. Then he was traded to Oakland. They just moved him over to the Huntsville Stars, which is in the same league. Hatcher goes. The throw from Steinbach is in time. Hatcher throwing out at second, and he's arguing. Hatcher thinks he beat it, but called out there by second base umpire Tim Welke.
Well, the only thing I could see is that maybe Hatcher never got to the base. That's an excellent play by Bordick, the shortstop. The throw's got a one-hop Bordick. He's still able to pick it clean and apply the tag. Right there, the short hop. Now, from that angle, it certainly looks like Hatcher got the foot into the bag. Bordick tagging up high as he falls over it. It's a heck of a play, though, by the Oakland shortstop to make the pick on this play. But right there, he's clearly safe at second base. You can see the bag come up, and the tag's not there yet.
Greenwell fouls the next offering down the left field line. So the Sox lost a call there. Brief argument from Hatcher, but
Billy wasn't going to argue very much because yesterday he got into a little tiff with Joe Brinkman behind the plate. Brinkman had a couple of words for him, so he feels he better cool it here early in the game tonight.
Arce fields his position. Throws Greenwell out at first, and that'll retire the Red Sox in the first inning. No runs on one hit. No Oakland errors. Sox do not strand any runners, and we're scoreless after one. So here we go with Mike Aldrete, Terry Steinbach, Mike Brumley coming up for the A's against Roger Clemens in the second inning. Aldrete looking at a called strike. Aldrete again is playing today because Mark McGwire is 2 for 30 lifetime against the Rocket, although McGwire had a home run last time he faced Clemens here at Fenway Park last May. That was Rogers' last outing against the A's. It was May 6th here at Fenway. He had a 3-0 lead. McGwire homered in the fourth inning into the screen over the left field wall. The A's eventually got to Clemens and beat him that afternoon 6-3. Aldrete fouls it back, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes.
Let's see. What'd you say, Bob? There were 5 home runs hit so far today. So that's
10 today total.
10 today. So 242 have been hit so far this season in the American League. It's a lot of taters early in the season.
A lot of the players and reporters were talking around the batting cage about the wind blowing out here early at Fenway, where so many years it blows in. Bill Gigliotti of the Herald was saying he's going to give Yaz a call because if Yaz make him out of retirement, he keeps blowing out like that. Just tell me the story, Jared, that Yaz used to come out, see which way the wind was blowing, and if it was blowing in, started slamming the bats around.
Yeah, he liked that wind blowing out either toward the left field wall or, like it is tonight, out toward the bullpen area.
Roger Clemens deals 2-2 to Aldrete and fouled back on the screen.
It's a good point that both Tim Naring and Greenwell made after yesterday's game. The fact that there have not been many games here at Fenway. I don't remember one where the wind has been blowing directly in from center field. The type of wind that we see here an awful lot in the month of April. A lot of balls that are hit very hard early in the season that just die out there near the Green Monster or the warning track. But that has not been the case so far this season.
Aldrete goes around, and Clemens picks up his second strikeout.
Clemens now with 16 strikeouts on the season. The lead is Guzman of Toronto with 24. Seeley also has 16 for the Red Sox. Fastball just completely fooling Aldrete. Looks like again tonight he has the outstanding fastball working for him early in this game.
Batter for Oakland will be Terry Steinbach, who went 0 for 4 yesterday. Knocked that average down to .311. Steinbach struck out 3 times yesterday. Looks at a called strike. Steinbach, as a matter of fact, is 0 for his last 20 against Boston pitching. There are his numbers career-wise against Roger Clemens. Can't be a very good feeling standing at the plate being down 0-2 to Clemens. Clemens 80 wins, 45 losses in his career here at Fenway. He's won 80 games here, 84 games career on the road.
There was a time where those numbers were just about even. ERA-wise, wins and losses both home and away. Tough year last year for Clemens here at Fenway Park. Have changed those numbers just a bit.
A 6-8 here last year with an ERA over 5. Says Derwood Merrill. You can see him shaking the head back and forth. Close, but no.
That's a tremendous pitch, though, for an 0-2 pitch. Something that the hitter has to think about, but yet if he goes after it, he's got no chance of making good, solid contact. Not missing by much again. That's about 4 or 5 now early in the game, just off the plate.
No again. That was a little further outside.
Now, Clemens tried the same spot to see if this time he would get the call, and Derwood Merrill, being very consistent, said no way. Almost the exact same pitch, same place, same call. Roger feeling maybe he missed one before. I'll try it again, but Merrill being consistent.
So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Base is empty, 1 out here in the top of the second. And from 0-2, we go to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Second time Clemens has gone to the full count in the ball game. No decision against the Tigers on April the 4th. No decision against the White Sox on the 9th. And then beat Chicago his last time out. Clemens has given up 2 home runs this year, both of them to Frank Thomas. Got him swinging for the 3rd strikeout of the night for Roger Clemens. Now you see Merrill nodding his head.
Well, Roger shaking his head, feeling like that was the same pitch, but I believe that pitch was back in on the corner just a little bit more than the other 2. Steinbach with the 2 strikes could not afford to take that one. Clemens again throws the fastball by him. 3rd strikeout, 3rd with the fastball.
So 2 up, 2 gone here in the second for the A's. Pitch hitter Mike Brumley from the left side against the Rockets, slicing it foul.
Aaron Seeley in the dugout today about the hit that Brumley got yesterday. The big high fly ball that dropped in right in the middle of the infield. He said, I've never seen anything like that. I was the only guy that had a chance to make a play on that, going back like a wide receiver. Nuring was funny. He was saying Seeley was yelling for me to make the play. Said I had no chance to get to that pop-up. When you're hot, you're hot. Brumley has been hot in a couple of games he's played since being called up.
2 hits Sunday against the Twins, 2 hits yesterday against the Red Sox. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count on Brumley. Released by California last week of spring training, signed by the A's to a minor league contract, sent to Tacoma. Then when Brent Gates injured his wrist, Brumley was summoned and played second base both Sunday and yesterday, and is at third base in place of Scott Brosius tonight. Rocket deals 1-2. Strikes out the side. Already Steinbach and now Brumley. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. We're scoreless after 1.5. Well, game 2 of this 3-game series. A's and Red Sox here tonight from Fenway. Scoreless ball game as we move to the 3rd. Mike Bordick, Scott Heeman, and then back to the top of the order, Ricky Henderson to bat against Roger Clemens. Bordick a .229 hitter on the year. Bordick going 0 for 3 here at Fenway yesterday, and that 13-5 Sox win. Looks to be called strike. Bobby Witt and Joe Heskett do battle here 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll have that game for you as well. The 0-2. There the A's move on to New York, and the Red Sox await the arrival of the California Angels for the weekend.
Might be cold here tonight, but there's no shortage of heat from both Clemens and Carsey.
Clemens with 4 strikeouts so far. As Bordick fouls this one down, Carsey with 3. Carsey has struck out 3 in each of his first 3 starts now.
Both these guys tonight, we don't have the benefit of a gun, but I would say they're both well over the 90 miles an hour.
Setting up inside on Bordick. A ball and 2 strikes. Clemens deals 1-2. Naring at second base will make the play to Vogt. 7 in a row now retired by Clemens since the walk to Ricky Henderson to start the game.
I think Naring ought to walk into Clemens and say, look, pal, I'm behind you. Don't worry about it. Don't try to make those diving plays on the mound. Watch Clemens. He'll go off to his left, dive for this ground ball, and it's by him. But Naring's going to be in position to make the play. Clemens looked like a hockey goalie on that, didn't he? Trying to stop anything around that net.
Scott Heeman, the batter. Heeman looks at a called strike. A's backup catcher to Terry Steinbach also plays just about every position on the diamond. He's at second base tonight. Still looking for his first base hit of the season. Obviously doesn't have an easy pitcher to do it against. Heeman so far this year has gone 0 for 12.
Second start that he's made this season at second base. He started a game over the weekend against Minnesota there. The next day he was the starting catcher in the ball game.
Strike 3 called. Clemens rings up number 5.
Tell you what, folks, this is going to be fun tonight. Certainly not fun for the hitters, but both these guys are really on top of the game. Again, Clemens on the inside part of the plate with the fastball. Went inside on Bordick, got the weak ground ball a second. Now inside for the strikeout. 4 strikeouts, 5 strikeouts so far for Clemens, all with the fastball.
Back to the top of the order, and Ricky Henderson. He reached on a walk to start the ball game. Since then, Clemens has sent down 8 in a row. Clemens fell behind Henderson. 3 balls, no strikes. Worked the count full. Henderson with a couple of foul balls and finally drew ball 4. There's a strike, a ball and a strike to count on Henderson. Leads the American League in walks with now 20. Came in 3rd in the league in on-base percentage at .518, which of course went up when he drew a walk back in the first inning. High with that one. 2-1 the count on Ricky.
Ricky's really been the only guy in the A's lineup that's seen a lot of breaking balls tonight from Clemens.
Now 3-1 the count on Henderson. One game in the American League this afternoon. Kansas City beat the Tigers in Detroit 11-6. As Henderson looks at strike 2.
Ricky telling Durwood Merrill that ball was low.
Everybody's all set to go again. Henderson hitting. Valley catching. Durwood Merrill behind the plate. And Clemens deals 3-2. John Valentin at short. Over to move on. Oakland goes in order against the Rocket in the 3rd inning. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. Scoreless after 2.5. And we are back here at Fenway Park as the Red Sox come to bat here. Bottom half the 3rd. Shaping up is a great pitching duel. Steve Carsey, the rookie, against Roger Clemens, the veteran, as Lee Tinsley leads off against the Oakland right-hander here in the 3rd inning. Tinsley looks at one up high. Tinsley, the starting left fielder for the Sox tonight. He got a start, you recall, in right field against the Tigers' 2nd game of the year on April the 6th. Thrown out by Scott Heeman, the second baseman, and quickly one gone.
Mike Greenwell, the DH tonight, he was telling me before the game, took a cortisone shot in his left shoulder yesterday after the ball game. Still bothering him when he banged into the wall out in left field back at the beginning of opening day, actually. Took the cortisone shot, so he is a DH tonight, and Thompson wanted to get Tinsley some playing time. He has not played that much so far this season.
So Tinsley getting the call in left field. Andre Dawson remains on the sideline after taking that cortisone shot in the knee. Here's the catcher, Dave Valley, one of the few Red Sox who has struggled at the plate in the early going. Sox coming in with a .287 team batting average. That's 3rd best in the American League.
There's the big breaking ball from Carce. They say so far this season he has not had the good curveball. Most of his work has been with the fastball, but he's got an excellent breaking ball.
Well, Valley's the only one who's seen it before. He actually had 2 at-bats against Carce last year as a member of the Seattle Mariners. Picked up 1 base hit. So he has seen him before. Ball and 2 strikes, the count on Valley. Carce 3 strikeouts against the Twins in each of his first 2 starts. 3 strikeouts already against the Red Sox tonight. Foul down the right field line. Now remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Count on Valley.
Some interesting numbers on Carce in his 10 major league starts. In innings 1 through 5 has an ERA of 1.99. Every inning after the 5th, his ERA moves to 7.54. See if that pattern continues in the ball game tonight. Wow.
It's Valley swinging, and that's strikeout number 4.
Well, they said that he was not afraid to come inside, and he certainly is proving that tonight. He will come inside on both right-handers and left-handers. Valley there with the check swing, a swing going out in front of the plate. Now he's just trying to get out of the way of the ball. There's some movement on that fastball, too. He tailored back in on the right-handers.
Valley's rung up as he heads back to the dugout. Back to the top of the order we go, and Orders Nixon, who was a strikeout victim to start the game for the Sox. Charging in from third base was Brumley. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Nixon.
Nixon and Henderson could be very big parts of this ball game tonight if they're able to get on base.
Ricky Henderson in left field will make the catch, and that'll retire the side as Boston goes in order against the rookie in the bottom half of the 3rd. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. We're scoreless after 3. Well, this scoreless battle now moves to the top of the 4th inning. Stan Javier, Ruben Sierra, and Troy Neal coming up against Roger Clemens on a cold night. A lot of heat generated, as Jerry mentioned, by Clemens and his rookie adversary Steve Carce. Clemens walked Ricky Henderson to start the ball game, has retired the next 9 in a row. Javier, a strikeout victim in the 1st inning, will lead off here in the 4th. Comes into tonight, as we mentioned, with a 13-game hitting streak, and has picked up at least 2 hits in 8 of those games this year. 1 ball and no strikes, the count on Javier, who spent last year with the California Angels. And he must have hit safely in the last 4 games with the Angels last year, adds up to 17. And make it 18, including 14 straight this year with a single to right field to begin the 4th.
It's going to be a great feeling for a guy like Javier, who's basically been a backup player throughout his major league career, to get a fresh start here back in Oakland again and get off to a tremendous start. 14 straight games now as he lines that base hit over the head of Tim Neri.
And again, 18 straight going back to last year. Kirby Puckett of the Twins has a streak like that. He has hit in all 14 of the Minnesota games this year and the last 8 last year. So Puckett's hitting streak is 22. Coming into play tonight, the Twins at home at the Metrodome against the Indians. Javier at first to begin the 4th inning. Ruben Sierra the batter, and Sierra looks what he called strike.
One thing that has been apparent with Clemens in his last 2 outings, it doesn't appear that he's lost very much off his fastball when working out of the stretch. Remember the first game of the season when he went to the stretch, it really messed his whole game up.
Nothing doing with Javier. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count.
Javier with 5 stolen bases on the season, has been thrown out 1 time.
The A's as a club have 11 steals, but they've been thrown out 9 times. And Jerry was talking about the Ricky Henderson numbers. 2 steals for Ricky this year and gunned down 4 times. Javier there at first, batting 83%. Ball and a strike on Sierra. And it's 1-2.
Split-fingered fastball from Clemens. Tony La Russa is the type of manager. He gets in this kind of game with the Carse going for him, and of course Clemens, and the way Clemens is starting this game off, trying to make things happen. He's just not going to sit around and wait for Clemens to mow everybody down. He'll try some hit and runs. He'll try some steals, get guys moving.
Clemens stepping off, and that forced Javier back to the bag. Two balls, 2 strikes now. The count on Sierra, who knocked in 101 runs last year.
Yeah, and that was considered an off year for Ruben Sierra. Batting average was down, still over 100 runs batted in.
He got those 101 RBIs in 50 ball games. Drives this one to left center field. Moving over is Tinsley to make the catch.
Those numbers this year should be higher for Sierra. Of course, it has McGuire back healthy and in that lineup most of the time, and that certainly helps protect Sierra in the lineup.
There were 50 games he got an RBI in last year. He hit 404 in those games. Then in the games when he didn't pick up an RBI, he batted just 149. Had a career low 233 average last year, but did knock in 101 runs. The designated hitter, Troy Neal. Clemens hits Valley's glove, strike 1. But Valley didn't have to move that thing an inch. Scoreless battle. Oakland and the Red Sox here, top of the 4th at Fenway. Sox winning game 1 here yesterday, 13-5. Aaron Seeley picking up his first win of a '94 season. Nice block by Valley, and the count goes 1-1.
Clemens would much rather miss with that split-fingered fastball down there, have it bounce to Valley, than leave that pitch up high. When he leaves it up high, it's generally hit pretty hard, but down here, he'd rather miss in that area. Valley doing his job by blocking the ball. Catchers really have their work cut out for them with all pitchers who throw that pitch, because when it's good, it's very seldom in the strike zone, and a lot of times it bounces. Well, he gave him the fastball in that he didn't want, fastball away he didn't want the split finger, and he didn't want the curve. Guess he wants to split again.
Strike 2.
It didn't look like a split, did it?
Him Naring with the play. Vaughn gets back to the bag at first. They get Neal as Javier will be able to advance to second.
Remember a couple of games ago, Naring had almost that same type of ground ball where he rushed it because he wanted to go to second base, ended up bobbling the ball and making an error. That time, no thoughts of going to second for Naring. Moving to his left, he'll just take the sure out at first base. He had to wait for Vaughn to get back to the bag and then make the out.
And Naring had an interesting quote in the paper this morning saying, "I'm just trying to catch the balls I need to catch, and I need to settle down and stop jumping around so much out there."
You always second guess yourself on a ground ball like that, because I think that's one that maybe he did have a chance to get that lead runner at second base. But because of what happened a couple of days ago, he was just thinking about making sure to get the one.
The A's do get a runner. Javier in scoring position with 2 outs. Mike Aldretti, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning at the plate. Pitch is down low to Aldretti. 1 ball to no strikes. This is his 10th game this year. He has picked up just 1 hit, a 9th inning single against the Twins back on April the 10th. Fastball up and in. 2 balls and no strikes, the count on Aldretti. 1 hit in 13 times at bat and .077 batting average. Clemens gets the call. 2 balls and a strike on Aldretti. Clemens after his 2nd straight win. Again, 2 no decisions to start the year, and then a win over the White Sox his last outing. Strike 2. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
1 pitch inside on Aldretti, then right back to the outside corner with the next 2.
Clemens with 5 strikeouts so far in the ball game has walked 1 and given up just the leadoff single here in the 4th to Stan Javier. Aldretti to the right side. Mo Vaughn with the play. The flip to Clemens covering, and that will retire the Oakland A's here in the 4th inning. No runs on 1 hit. They'll leave Javier at second base. Still scoreless after 3 1/2.
Great pitches duel here at Fenway Park through 4 innings. Clemens and Carsey. Last strikeout by Carsey on Mo Vaughn. Vaughn didn't think it was a strike, but when you watch the replay, watch where Durwood Merrill sets up. He's on the inside corner. Obviously, he sees that pitch better than he will the outside corner and makes the call 3rd strike. Vaughn didn't think so. He get pounded away with fastballs early in the count, and Carsey slipped the fastball by him inside. That's some good pitching. Good pitching going on in this game.
Now, Roger Clemens through 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, the exact same numbers for Steve Carsey. 5 strikeouts for Clemens, 5 for Carsey. Harry Steinbach now all set to lead off. Clemens has thrown 69 pitches so far tonight, and that is 70. 44 of them have been for strikes.
Watch Durwood Merrill where he sets up now with the right-handed hitter at the plate. He'll still be on the inside corner. Makes the outside one a little bit tough. Clemens felt like he missed a couple early in the game, but he's prepared to call the inside strike. That's what happened with Mo Vaughn in that last at bat, and maybe that's why Clemens did not get those pitches earlier in the game.
Here's a 2-0 pitch to Steinbach. Strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. Struck out 3 times yesterday. You saw the graphic as he came to the plate. He struck out 4 of the 5 times at bat this series. Fouled back, made contact, and the count is 2-2. Clemens' last win against the Oakland A's was a 3-hit shutout back at the Oakland Coliseum in August of 1991. Will run the count full on Steinbach. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3rd time the Rocket has gone to a full count. 2nd time tonight on Steinbach. Rocket deals 3-2. Steinbach pops it up. Mo Vaughn with the play, backing up in foul territory, and 1 gone to start the Oakland 5th.
Third base, number 31, Mike Brumley.
Clemens has now retired 13 of the last 14 hitters he's faced, and 13 of 15 overall in the ball game. Mike Brumley, a second-round draft pick, as you saw, by the Red Sox in '84. That was for the free agent signing of Tom Bergmeyer. And then Brumley was packaged with Dennis Eckersley and traded to the Cubs for Bill Buckner. Eventually made his way back to Boston after stops in Seattle and Detroit. Sox sent him down to Pawtucket. Eventually signed on with the California Angel organization, released by them, and is now in Oakland. 2 balls and no strikes, the count on Brumley. Brumley, a switch hitter, now 31 years of age, spent last year with Tucson in the Pacific Coast League, hit .353. And delivers a base hit to center field. Hit number 2 for the A's off the rocket. Brumley continues his hot hitting. He's hit safely now in all 3 games since being called up from Tacoma.
Shortstop.
When Gates went down with the injury, Noboa was playing a lot of second base. Had a little bit of difficulty defensively. They made the call of Brumley. Got to start yesterday at second, today over at third base, and he's been sticking in his base hits.
Not sure how much speed he has, but he had 24 steals last year at Tucson. Was caught 11 times.
A bit better than average speed for Mike Brumley.
The batter, the shortstop, Mike Bordick, who rolled out to second base his first at bat. A's nothing, Sox nothing. We're in the top of the 5th. A strike to Bordick. Former Maine Black Bear.
One of the rare high strikes that have been called. Very seldom will you see a strike call above the belt. That ball appeared to be just above the belt. Breaking ball called strike.
Strike 2.
And there's been a runner on first base. Clemens has done a good job in quickly getting ahead of the next hitter. That takes away a lot of possibilities. You have to worry about the possible pitch out. The hit and run play is more difficult to put on when the hitter is down in the count, obviously.
To right field, backing up is Billy Hatcher. Draws a bead, makes the catch. 2 gone now in the Oakland 5th.
Looks like Billy Hatcher has moved in a few steps in his positioning out there in right field. Very deep out there in the first game of the series. Had to go back on that fly ball from Bordick. Still able to make an easy catch on it.
Hatcher making the transition to right field this year. Probably a natural left fielder, I would guess. Started 125 games with the Sox last year in center. Had just the 1 game in right, but had all spring training to prepare.
It's a very difficult transition, too, for a guy like Billy Hatcher. Center field, you can see location of pitches, and you get a better jump on the baseball because of that. It's more difficult in right field, especially here at Fenway Park in a very big right field. Ball tails away from him when right-handers hit it out there.
Well, Hatcher would not have a classic right fielder's throwing arm, but has played the position for the Sox here. Really part of the '94 season. Has hit very well.
A lot of outfielders very effective with weak throwing arms because they can hit the cutoff man.
Fouled back by Heeman. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Certainly wouldn't say that Hatcher has a weak throwing arm, but we've seen many outfielders who you don't run against because it's so accurate hitting the cutoff man. You could have the greatest arm in the world, but if you're throwing it 10 miles over the cutoff man's head, base runners just keep on running.
And of course, you have the classic right fielder that we enjoyed here for so many years, and Dwight Evans. One and 2.
Evans had the combination of both things. Very strong throwing arm and a very accurate arm. He got such a reputation. Guys would just not try to make doubles on balls hit the right field.
Here's the 1-2 now to Heeman. Wood shakes his head, and the count goes to 2-2.
Couldn't tell if that miss being inside or maybe too low, but again, very close. Valley set up on the inside part of the plate.
Strike 3 called. Clemens rings up number 6. That'll do it for the A's here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The A's leave 1. 4.5 in the books from Fenway, still scoreless. Game 2 of the Oakland series, and a dandy. Steve Carsey and Roger Clemens locked up in a pitching duel, rookie against veteran. Sox bat here, bottom of the 5th inning. Tim Naring, who went 4 for 4 yesterday, looks at one up high, 1 ball, no strikes. Naring hit the ball hard his first at bat, drove it deep to center field. Fine running catch by Stein Javier. Slicing this one foul. Count even on Naring at a ball and a strike. Sox come into tonight with 8 wins, 5 losses. Still running 3rd in the American League East behind the duo of Baltimore and Toronto, just a half game back. Oakland leads the West. The A's are 7-6 and still have a game-and-a-half lead over California. White Sox winning at Milwaukee again tonight, 4-2. Seattle on top of the Yankees. Seattle hitting quite a few home runs in the Bronx last night. California, Baltimore, Texas, Toronto rematched the Sky Dome tonight. Cleveland and Minnesota just getting underway at the Metrodome. They're in the 4th inning at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Cardinals beat the Braves last night. They're tied tonight 2-2 in the 3rd inning. The Braves losing for just the 2nd time this year. Count of 2 balls and 2 strikes on Tim Naring. Gene Lamont of the Chicago White Sox, their skipper, saying, hey, we're just not a home run hitting club. I don't think. They hit 3 more last night, now have 29 already on the young season. Deep in the hole, Bordick with the throw high at first, but keeping the foot on the bag is Aldretti, and there's 1 going.
Scott Cooper coming to the plate. We got the benefit of taking a look at swings from Cooper back in the early series against Detroit when he was struggling. And now, a couple of minor things. See how Cooper has opened up his stance just a little bit. Now look at the balance on Cooper. On this particular swing that's down and away, no balance at all in the back leg. He sits back a little bit on that back leg in the frame on the right. You'll see the top front shoulder go right at the baseball. Top part of the body right at the baseball. It makes consistent part of contact. Once again, we'll go back to that frame on the right. Now watch the top of his body, how he tucks in toward the baseball, foot going right toward the pitcher, and right on the ball for a home run.
Well, that was the grand slam.
Minor adjustments that hitters make that can really turn things around. And sometimes just as small as opening or closing your stance by a ½ inch, making sure your front shoulder is heading toward the baseball and the pitcher. And of course the balance. Balance much better for Cooper recently. Getting results.
He was saying he's positioned himself better at the plate to see the pitch better.
Well, his positioning is almost the same as it was. He's going to the baseball better.
Sends this one left field way. Ricky Henderson is there to make the catch.
Of course, pitch location has an awful lot to do with the kind of swing you have. In that first frame, that pitch was down and away. Obviously did not see the pitch well. The other pitch had more of the plate, so you get different kind of swings. Pitches will control what kind of swing you have.
Eleven straight now retired by Carsey as he goes to work here against John Valentin. Valentin loses half the bat, but is going to pick up a base hit. Drops it in front of Javier, and the Red Sox have their 2nd hit. Comes with 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
Now, Valentin's been in a mini scuffle, and as we mentioned on Talk with Easler today, this will make him feel better. It wasn't pretty. It was a broken back, but it drops in, and tomorrow it looks like a line drive in the box score. Kind of night it's been for hitters. Only 4 hits in the game, 2 by each club.
Ted Carsey retired 12 in a row. It had been 11 in a row. Valentin would have been number 12, but he reaches with 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and Lee Tinsley gets his second at bat tonight. Tinsley looks at a called strike over the outside part of the plate. Tinsley's had 7 at bats so far for the Red Sox this year. Has 1 base hit. Had a fine spring training with both Seattle and the Sox. And can scoot, as evidenced by those 18 triples last year. That'd be hard in a player like Tinsley, though. All the attention he got in spring training, lots of at-bats with Seattle. Red Sox took a good long look at him when they got him. And then all of a sudden the season starts, the weather turns cooler, and you sit. Had to start against Detroit in the second game of the season here, out in right field. Foul back.
Tough adjustment for any young player, a guy that's accustomed to playing every day at the minor league level. You come to the big leagues, you're not a starting player. What the manager tries to do is get you in as much as he possibly can to keep you fresh. Spring training, you have the benefit of playing every day. Might be late in the game, you might only get 1 at bat, but at least you're getting some action. Not when the season starts. But to every player, every young player, they would much rather be in that dugout at the major league level than playing every day at AAA.
Out even on Tinsley now 2-2. Give you an example. Tonight is Wednesday. Tinsley got in the game Monday against Chicago. Entered the game in the 9th inning. Had 1 at bat. Prior to that, it was 6 days earlier that he played. On the 12th in Kansas City. Got into that blowout late. It can be a week between games, if not longer. 2-2 pitch from Carsey. Swing and a miss. He struck out. Valentin off with the pitch, but the inning ends with Carsey's 6th strikeout of the night. No runs on 1 hit, no errors and 1 left, and we're scoreless after 5. Well, it's about as even as you can get. No runs, 2 hits, no errors per side. Each strikeout, or each pitcher has 6 strikeouts, Clemens and Carsey, and each has walked a batter. Clemens will be facing the top of the Oakland lineup here in the 6th inning. Ricky Henderson, Stan Javier, and Ruben Sierra. Clemens has given up 2 hits. Javier a single to lead off the 4th, and Brumley with a 1-out single in the 5th. Ricky Henderson was the only other A's player to reach. He walked to start the ball game.
Ricky Henderson.
Henderson has the walk to go with the ground ball to shortstop. Henderson is 8 for 49 in his major league career against Roger Clemens, which figures to a 163 average.
I mentioned it a couple of innings earlier. You don't want guys like Henderson and Nixon on base in this type of a ball game. They can quickly turn a single into a double. And 1 run, the way things are going in this one so far, could be the game.
Clemens has worked behind Henderson all night, too.
Shot him a breaking ball every time up.
Now the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fell behind Henderson 3-0 in the 1st inning. Fell behind him 3-1 in the 3rd. Little check swing. Mo Vaughn catching the soft line drive. So Henderson is kept off the base pass to begin the 6th.
We mentioned in our open tonight how Clemens has been a pitcher that can go on long win streaks, and take a look at these numbers. Like in 1998, you know, check out the ERAs through those streaks. 0.80, 0.73, 0.90. Of course, last year Clemens did not have a streak. And after his last outing and what he's put together here so far tonight, maybe he's on his way to one of those. Problem is, tonight, Carsey is doing the same thing for the Oakland A's.
Clemens, of course, had those classic pitching battles against Dave Stewart, losing a couple of 1-0 ball games to Stewart. Stewart, of course, gone. And now facing the rookie Carsey. Batter is Stan Javier, who bounced out to, or struck out his first at bat and then singled to right his last time up.
One of the few pitches tonight that has been a bad pitch for Clemens. That's got away from him. Clemens not liking that very much, falling behind 2-0 to Javier.
Javier has hit safely now in 14 straight this year. 18 straight if you go back and count his last 3 games with the Angels, or last 4 games with the Angels last year, which is a career high. 2 balls and a strike. Scoreless ball game here, top of the 6th. After 1 in the dirt, and the count is even now at 2-2.
Once again, the split-fingered fastball from Clemens, and once again, excellent location down and out of the strike zone. It appears like tonight he's throwing that ball, that particular pitch, harder and getting more movement on it.
Two from the Rocket. Off ground ball to second base, naring Devon, and 1 gone, or 2 gone. Henderson lining out to Vaughn, and now Javier grounding out to Tim Naring.
Now it's the same pitch again, the split, and he's doing that most of the time working against these left-handed hitters. Once he gets ahead of him, he'll go to that pitch, and tonight getting the ground ball out.
2 out in the Oakland 6th inning. Here's Ruben Sierra. Sierra has popped to second and lined to left. After the first pitch, ground ball first base, that'll go foul. Vaughn could not get there in time.
Oh, you hate to give a guy like Sierra another chance. Looked like it was going to be a nice easy little roll to Vaughn, and then it kicked out into foul territory.
And a nice easy inning for Clemens, who got Henderson and Javier on a minimum of pitches. Clemens with 6 strikeouts tonight. Down even on Sierra, ball and a strike. Balled and 2 strikes. Last Friday, Clemens beat the White Sox here at Fenway 5-3, went 8 innings in that ball game, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. Struck out 6 and walked a batter. Gave up just the home run to Frank Thomas. Comes back with 1-2.
He's been staying away from Ruben Sierra, trying to stay away from the way the wind's blowing out toward the bullpens. Staying away with both fastballs and split finger. Fastball away again.
Sierra called out on strike. 7th strikeout of the night for Clemens as Oakland goes in order here in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left after 5.5. Still scoreless. So here we go. Bottom half of the 6th inning. The A's and the Red Sox are scoreless. Number 9 hitter Dave Valley leads off for Boston. Then back to the top of the order, and Otis Nixon and Billy Hatcher. As the battle between Roger Clemens and Steve Carsey continues. Valley lines a base hit. No. Taken away out in center field by Javier. Caught it below the knee. Charging in from center field. Nice play. Take a base hit away from Dave Valley.
Looked like the ball would just not sit for Dave Valley. The ball's hit hard on the line, but Javier, who was playing fairly shallow, will come in and pick this ball right off the grass. Boy, he had to be confident, too, that he could make that catch, because if that ball gets by him, Valley's at least at second, maybe third base. Nice play by Javier. When you get games pitched like this, too, you generally make good plays behind these guys.
1 out. Batter is Otis Nixon, who looks at 1 up high. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Nixon. Nixon has struck out and flied to left in his 2 at-bats. Arce falls behind Nixon. 2 balls, no strikes.
A's trying to take the bunt away from Otis Nixon. Brumley and Aldretti both in tight.
There's a strike on the inside corner.
Brumley well into the grass at third base. Aldretti on the cut of the grass at first.
Fouled back by Nixon, and the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2 strikes. Now they'll move back. Aldretti certainly moves back, but still shallow is Brumley. Nixon at times has attempted to bunt with 2 strikes.
Sox and A's scoreless here. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Nixon batting with the bases empty and 1 out. Strike 3 called. Nixon punched out, and Carce rings up number 7. That ties his major league high. He struck out 7 in a ball game against Seattle last year.
Well, this is really something tonight. Both these guys at the top of their game, getting the big strikeouts. That ball tailing on the outside part of the plate. Nixon didn't think so, but Durwood Merrill. It'd be fun being an umpire too in games like this. Both guys around the plate all night.
Billy Hatcher after the first pitch and fouls it back. Looking at Carce, he's given up 1 run all year. Beat the Twins in his first start 14-0. Left against the Twins in his last start after 8 innings, up 4-1. Billy Hatcher lines it. This will fall for a base hit. Rolls all the way to the warning track. Hatcher now digs for 2. It goes to the wall. Hatcher is going for third, and he will go in standing up. A dive by Javier out in right center field to try and cut it off, and he couldn't do it. And Billy Hatcher is at third base with 2 outs.
Billy Hatcher's really been the only Red Sox player that has not been a mystery. But Carce, he has really had some good at-bats against this right-hander. This is at least going to be a double for Hatcher. Now when the ball kicks away from Javier and goes all the way to the bullpen wall, Billy Hatcher's going to head to third base and be on third base with 2 outs. He's had some very good at-bats. Had the base hit in the first, hit a hard ground ball to the shortstop. His second at-bat in the 4th inning. Now the hard triple here in the 6th. Did they give that a triple?
I believe so. Hit all the way.
Yeah. Got to be at least a double. Then it kicked away, but I don't think you can give an error on that.
Mike Greenwell will try and pick him up with 2 gone here in the 6th inning. After the first pitch, but missed it. Greenwell tonight has bounced back to Carce and then rolled out to second base. Ground ball to first. Aldretti will make the play unassisted, and that will retire the Red Sox. No runs, the triple by Billy Hatcher, no Oakland errors, and Hatcher dies at third base. We head to the 7th, 0-0. Now we've got a dandy going here at Fenway tonight. The A's 0, the Red Sox 0. Oakland coming to bat here against Roger Clemens in the top half the 7th inning. Tony La Russa will be sending up Troy Neal, Mike Aldretti, and then Terry Steinbach.
It's been a great battle tonight between the rookie pitcher and the veteran pitcher. Both very similar. Both throw very hard. And neither guy refusing to give in. We move into the 7th inning.
Carce has given up 1 run now in 21 innings of work this year.
He came in tonight's action leading an ERA at 0.60 and has done nothing to hurt that.
Clemens goes to work on Neal. They make the appeal there to the third base umpire, Joe Brinkman, and Brinkman goes up with the right hand. He looks a little cold down there.
That was Clemens' 100th pitch of the night. Last time out, what, 115 against Chicago in the 8 innings. There's 101 for a strike, and it's 0-2. Gonna feel strong on a night like this. Both pitches, cool temperatures.
Waste that one. A ball and 2 strikes on Neal, who's flied to left and grounded to second. Clemens with 7 strikeouts tonight has walked 1, given up 2 hits, one to Javier, the other one to Brumley. Two-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. That's 8 strikeouts for Clemens.
Most of his strikeouts tonight have been on the fastball. He did get Heeman on a curveball, and that time the split-fingered fastball to get Neal. He's got excellent location all night long with that pitch. Gets ahead of the left-handers. Goes in that one. Either gets the strikeout or the ground ball out.
First baseman Mike Aldretti the batter. Naring backing up at second, over to Mo Vaughn. Quickly 2 gone here in the 7th.
July 2 in the 7th inning. Clemens would love to have an inning where he maybe only makes 10 pitches in the inning.
Number 36, Terry Steinbach.
Clemens and the Red Sox have owned Steinbach, who has gone 0 for 6 so far in the series. Steinbach is 0 for his last 22 against Red Sox pitching, and 0 for 2 against Clemens tonight. Rocket got him swinging in the 2nd inning, and then Steinbach fouled out to Mo Vaughn in the 5th.
I don't like hearing those numbers with Steinbach at the plate because he can quickly make this a 1-run game. 5 home runs on the season so far, driven in 16 runs.
5 homers places him tied for 5th in the American League. Reaches out and fouls it down the 3rd baseline, and Clemens quickly ahead 0-2.
I think Terry's going to feel like he's been 0-2 just about every at bat he's had so far in this series. What are you going to do?
Ball, 2 strikes.
Steinbach peeking out of Clemens. Where's he going to go next?
Rocket deals 1-2, and it's down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Steinbach. Clemens with 6 strikeouts. His last time out against the Chicago White Sox has mowed down 8 so far here tonight. This is his 4th start of the '94 season. Steinbach sends it down the right field line, hooking foul. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Steinbach in his career 6 hits in 28 at bats now against Clemens. Does have a home run. Clemens has struck him out 6 times. Bounce that one up to Valley, and the count will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
So from no balls and 2 strikes, deep in a hole is Steinbach. He works himself back to a 3-2 count.
Steinbach works a walk with 2 outs here in the 7th. Second free pass issued by Clemens. He walked Ricky Henderson to start the game.
Third base.
Fourth base runner for the A's tonight.
Mike Brumley.
Clemens' college teammate Mike Brumley. They played together at the University of Texas for the Longhorns back in the early 1980s. And blows one by his former teammate. 1 strike, the count on Brumley. And for the fastball out of the strike zone, Brumley has been called out on strikes tonight and has singled to center field. Ground ball to short. Valentin with the flip to Naring in time for the force on Steinbach. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, 1 left. 7th inning stretch time here at Fenway, and we're scoreless. .70 on the year. Take a look at Steve Carsey. This is 1993 numbers. We talked about pitches 1 through 75. Opponents batted 200 against him. When he goes over 75 pitches, they batted 400. Again, those are 93 numbers. And we'll see if they hold true here in 94. Missing up and in on Vaughn. And that was pitch number 76 of the night for Carsey. He went 7 innings against the Twins in his first start. He went 8 innings against the Twins in his second start. And Vaughn rocks this one off the wall, hit the ladder. Bounces into left center field. And Vaughn will walk in with a stand-up double. Vaughn gets the Red Sox started here in the 7th inning.
Red Sox catch a break here because that ball is probably going to be a hard single off the wall for Vaughn. Henderson just spun around and was prepared to play it off the wall, but watch the ball hit the ladder. It's going to kick to Henderson's right, and that will allow Mo Vaughn to get into second base. That's a bullet by Mo Vaughn off the wall, hitting the ladder, and now it's Naring's job to somehow move Vaughn to third base. There have been many guys out at that second base area tonight.
Sox got Billy Hatcher to third base last inning, but that was with 2 outs. Greenwell grounded at first to win the inning, but now Vaughn stands at second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th, and Tim Naring, who's gone 0 for 2 tonight, will be the hitter. Squares, bunts. Aldrete has just the 1 play. That's to first base. Sacrifice 3-4, and Mo Vaughn advances to third.
Good job by Naring getting that sacrifice down and high hop off around home plate. Aldrete was thinking about third base, but Brumley was not back at the bag. He came in a couple of steps, could not get back in time, so Aldrete just has to take the out. See him take a look over. He wanted to go to third base, now has to spin around as Brumley was about 5 feet in from the bag. Well, you almost got to expect anything in a game like this. A 0-0 game, the way both these guys are going. You can't rule out the possibility of a squeeze play, although bunting's certainly not Cooper's strength. But you got to try to get a run any way you possibly can.
Butch Hobson rocks back and forth in the Red Sox dugout. Scott Cooper tonight struck out in the 2nd inning and flied to left in the 5th.
Tough decision for Allenson, the third base coach. The middle infielders for Oakland are about halfway, double play depth. Now, they may came in on the pitch. It's exactly what they're doing.
Cooper looks at a high fastball. 1 ball, no strikes.
They stay back thinking that the third base coach will tell that runner, any ball is second and short, you go. And when the guy makes the pitch, they charge in.
Cooper good at lifting the ball, as evidenced by those 3 sacrifice flies. It's this one in the air to center field. Javier is there. Vaughn tagging at third base. Vaughn coming home and will score on the sacrifice fly by Cooper. So Cooper gets the job done. Vaughn in to score, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
Well, the little things paying off for the Red Sox. Naring able to get the job done with the sacrifice, and Cooper, as you mentioned, Bob, a fly ball type hitter. And most of the time, he's going to be able to get the job done. Takes a low fastball, still able to lift it deep enough where Javier has no play at home. Lead off double, sacrifice, sacrifice, fly. Just make sure you don't leave too early, Mo. Go ahead. Plenty of time.
A 1-0 lead for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The batter's John Valentin. Looks at a curve for a strike. Valentin struck out in the 2nd, singled to center field in the 5th. Sox now with 4 hits, triple by Hatcher, a double by Vaughn. Actually, Hatcher has 2 hits on the night. He singled and tripled. Vaughn doubled, and Valentin has a single. Arce deals 1-1. Valentin hits it deep to left field. It's gone. A home run for Valentin. Over the left field wall into the screen, and the Red Sox now will take a 2-0 lead. John Valentin's 2nd home run of the season. For a little extra margin for Roger Clemens to work with.
Fastball got up from Arce, and John Valentin will hook it into that screen over left field for the home run. All tailing back in over the heart of the plate. Valentin staying on that ball a little bit longer than he was yesterday. And a big home run there.
2 runs, 5 hits for the Red Sox. A double by Vaughn here in the 7th. Naring sacrificed him to 3rd. Cooper got him in with a sacrifice fly. Home run by Valentin, and then Tinsley will ground to short as the inning comes to an end. But the Sox get 2 big runs and will take a 2-0 lead into the 8th. Roger Clemens now has himself a 2-run lead to work with. Cooper sacrifice fly, and Valentin giving him the extra run with the home run into the screen in left field. Valentin's 2nd home run of 94. Roger Clemens goes to work here against Tony La Russa's A's in the 8th inning. Mike Bordick to lead things off. Scott Heeman is scheduled to follow, but Geronimo Baroa is on the on-deck circle, so we're assuming he will pinch hit for Heeman. And then back to the top of the order, and Ricky Henderson.
There are no left-handed pinch hitters available tonight for Tony La Russa. We mentioned he only has 4 extra men, and those are all right-handers tonight. Baroa, Brocious, McGuire, and Noboa.
Mike Bordick looks at a high fastball. Bordick has grounded to 2nd and flied to right in his 2 at-bats. It's this one in the air, right down the right field line. Over is Billy Hatcher, right at the pole. It's a foul ball. Hatcher going over right at the wall, but could not handle it.
Don't have to hit it good down that right field line. You just need good location. Ball falling short of certainly the foul pole. Hatcher diving into the stands, but too many fans to battle for that foul ball.
Roger Clemens' last win against the Oakland A's was a 3-hit shutout back on August 26th of 1991. John Valentin at short. The throw to Vaughn skips, but Vaughn digs it out of the dirt. Helped Tim Naring like that yesterday, and John Valentin here tonight.
Vaughn seems very effective making this play with the backhand. Sometimes when he has to make it the other way, some problems. But right here, picking it, not really a difficult hop because it was so close to him. Move that ball out just about a foot, and then it becomes a very, very difficult play.
Pinch hitting for Oakland. For 29. Geronimo Baroa.
There's Geronimo Baroa as the pinch hitter. hitting at .455 on the young year. Hot shot to second base. One hopped by Tim Naring over to Vaughn, and quickly two gone here in the A's 8th. Baroa rounding out to Naring.
Ricky Henderson will take his time getting into the batter's box now with 2 quick outs in the inning. Matter of fact, he's having a little conversation with the fans down there while he was loosening up. Put a little more pine tar on the bat, a few more practice swings, get that donut off. Got to give his pitcher a little bit more rest and also make Clemens wait.
Dave Bally takes the opportunity to go out for a chat with the Rocket. Clemens 8 strikeouts on the night, has walked 2, giving the A's just 2 hits. The A's have a single by Javier in the 4th and one by Brumley in the 5th.
Looks like Jeff Russell has started to loosen up. Bankhead was throwing at the start of this inning. After the 2 outs, Russell jumped up to start to loosen up. I don't think Clemens too happy about all the time that Ricky has taken to get in here.
Mr. Henderson is finally ready to participate. And Clemens will go right at him.
Well, you saw Roger call out Valley when all this was kind of going on, and obviously that conversation about the first pitch fastball, we want to move him off the plate. And he did move him off the plate. That again will go flying out of Ricky's hands, very similar to yesterday here at Fenway.
Inside again, this time for a strike. Ricky Henderson shaking his head, questioning the vision of Derwood Merrill. One ball, 2 strikes.
Ricky, he can get a crowd going, can he? Just like Canseco does, and one of the great players that have played.
No. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Henderson walked in the 1st inning, grounded to short in the 3rd, and then had a soft line drive out to Mo Vaughn in the 6th. Now Clemens takes his time and Henderson steps out. Rocket deals 2-2. Did not get the call. You see Clemens upset with that call.
He has had about 5 or 6 of those tonight that have been very, very close and really could have gone either way. Watch Clemens after the pitch. They take that little jump that pitchers take, and they think they have it.
Henderson with a ground ball to 3rd. Scott Cooper with the play over to Mo Vaughn. Vaughn digging it out again, and the A's will go in order here in the 8th inning. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. After 7 1/2, Clemens and the Red Sox with a 2-0 lead. Well, April the 20th, about what, 82 years ago on this day, Fenway Park opened as the Red Sox beat the New York Yankees 7-6. As a matter of fact, 2 ballparks opened in the American League on the very same day. 20th of April, 1912, both Fenway Park here in Boston and what is now Tiger Stadium in Detroit. At the time, it was Navin Field. They are the 2 oldest ballparks going. Certainly a big celebration here tonight, at least so far, as the Red Sox with a 2-0 lead. Great ball game. Red Sox and the Oakland A's pitching duel between Roger Clemens and Steve Carsey. The Rocket will take a 2-0 lead here into the 9th inning. Red Sox have not had a complete game this year. Stan Javier, Ruben Sierra, and Troy Neal bat against Clemens here in the ninth. Jerry, you were checking on Clemens' last complete game, which was what, the 11th of May of last year when he beat the Orioles at Camden Yards 4-0. Last start against Chicago, 116 pitches. Tonight, 10 more. And he'll try and close it out himself. A ball and a strike. The count on Javier. Fouled back, a ball and 2 strikes. Clemens with 8 strikeouts tonight has walked 2 and has given up just 2 hits. Coming off an impressive 5-3 win here Friday against the White Sox. Fouled it back and the count remains 1-2.
Going right after Javier too, staying on top of him. Fastballs. Has the luxury now of the 2-run lead. Boy, this game's gone tonight. A 2-run lead almost seems like a 10-run lead the way both pitches went about their work in this game.
Down even now with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Clemens with 2 complete games for the Red Sox last year has 91 in his major league career. Again, Javier making the rocket work as he fouls it back and the count remains 2-2. Clemens with the 1 shutout at Baltimore last year has 35 in his career, including 2 against the Oakland A's. As mentioned before, his last win against the A's in '91 was a 3-hit shutout. Two to Javier. Strike 3 called. Got the curveball across and picks up his 9th strikeout of the night.
Well, Javier certainly didn't think so, and I'm not sure Clemens was convinced it was going to be called a strike. Once it was, he gave a big pump sign to Durwood Merrill for making the call. Slider down and in. Galley does a good job bringing it back on the corner, and Clemens very pleased with that call.
Batter Ruben Sierra. Fastball missed the outside. 1 ball to no strikes on Sierra. Sierra's popped to second, lined to left, and been called out on strikes. Sierra's got an 11-game hitting streak on the line. Valentin throws him out. So the A's are down to their final out.
Number 16, designated hitter, Troy Neal.
Roger Clemens 1 out away from a 2-hit shutout over the Oakland A's. Batter is Troy Neal. Neal fouls off the first offering. 1 strike to count on Neal. Clemens has struck out 9, walked 2. And look who's coming out on deck. Mark McGuire will pinch hit for Mike Aldrete. That's if Neal can reach. Fouled off, strike 2.
This is vintage Clemens. Wouldn't he love to finish this game off with the punch out? Crowd on its feet, standing.
Does not get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, he's missed tonight. He hasn't missed by much. 1-2 offering to Troy Neal. Strike three called. Clemens strikes out Neal. His 10th strikeout of the night. And the 55th time in his major league career he has struck out 10 or more batters in the game. Picks up his second straight win, and the Red Sox are winners tonight over the Oakland A's 2-0.
Charlie Moore's